What is up, everyone? Welcome back. This is Dan from DHTV, and today I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks that you can use with your new iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro, or your iOS 13 device. Let's get started. Alright, now before we jump into the video, I strongly recommend you watch the whole thing because I've got some really cool tips and they're in no particular order. You're going to be able to do things like use a mouse with your iPhone or iPad. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and watch the whole video. So the first tip we're going to be looking at is dark mode. And yes, you probably know how it works. You just swipe down, hold on your brightness button, and you can turn dark mode on and off. We're going to take a look at a new option here if you want to quickly turn dark mode on and off. Open your settings application. We're going to scroll down to where it says Control Center, and we're going to tap Customize Controls. There's actually a quick dark mode option. So if we tap the plus, it's now going to be added to the top here. And if we pull down our Control Center, we now have this dark mode button where we can just quickly turn it on and off. So dark mode's off, swipe down, dark mode's on. So it just saves you a whole step when trying to enable or disable dark mode. The next tip is so valuable and it's going to help you block those unwanted telemarketer calls or unknown calls. So in our settings, once again, this time we're gonna go down and focus on our phone settings here. And what we're gonna enable is this feature here called Silence Unknown Callers. If we turn it on, all unknown calls will automatically be silenced and sent to your voicemail. Now this next tip involves Siri, and what it's going to do is allow Siri to read everything that's on your page. So for example, we're on this website here, and the first thing we want to do is tap the A's at the top, and we're going to set it to show reader view. This is going to ensure that we just get most of the writing in there. The next thing we're going to do is open our settings application. We're going to tap on accessibility. We're going to tap spoken content, and we have a few options here. The first one is going to allow us to speak a specific selection. We'll turn that on, and then the next one is going to speak the whole screen. And it also tells you how to activate it. So you're going to swipe down with 2 fingers from the top of the screen, and that's going to enable Siri to read everything that's there. So we open our web page, and from the top, we're going to swipe down.
Orange 3rd Jersey, written by Chris Creamer, Saturday, September 21st, 2019. Orange get that? After a 2-year hiatus.
So what it did there is it went ahead and read what was on screen. And you can pause it, you can speed this up. You can see there's 1 times, there's 1.5 times, there's 2 times. The other option is to just hold and select a specific section of the news. So for example, we wanted that. You'll see we have a speak option if we tap it, and it'll begin speaking.
Early this morning or late last night, depending where you live, any day sale offering yet to be released.
That was still speaking in the 2 times. You can always pull it down, switch it over, and fix it the way you want it. This next tip is going to help you with your battery. We're going to open our settings and we're going to focus on the battery section here. And this is where you can see information about your battery, but we're going to focus on the battery health. And you can see that because this is a brand new phone, my maximum capacity is at 100%. But if you take a look at my iPhone 10 here, which is 2 years old, its now maximum capacity is 90%. So a good way to help your battery last as long as possible and stay healthy, the optimized battery charging option is here. And you want to enable it, so you want to see it green. And what it's going to do is sort of learn your routine and charge up to 80% as quickly as it can, like normal. And then based on your routine, charge that last 20% so it's ready for you rather than it sitting with the charger in at 100% all night. This next tip is going to allow you to use a mouse with your iOS device. And as you can see on my screen here, I can move around this cursor and I can click to open different applications. For example, I can open up Safari. I can then scroll around on the screen here, like so. I can then use a digital button that brings up some other options like going back home. I can do pretty much anything my finger could do, but I can do it using the mouse. So it's really cool, and I'm not going to get into exactly how to set it up. It's done in the settings, and you'll need to go to the accessibility and then the touch settings, and it's all done within here. I have a video where I explain exactly how to set this up and how it works. So rather than go over that for 5-6 minutes, you can take a look at that video when you're done watching this one. The link is in the description. This next tip involves the control center and the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth options. So if we hold on the Wi-Fi, we're going to be able to see some extra options here, but if we do that a second time, we could quickly connect to any one of these networks rather than having to go through the settings application to do so. We can do the same for Bluetooth, so you'll be able to see all your Bluetooth enabled devices that are around, so you can quickly connect to those as well. For this next tip, we'll open up a note and we're going to take a look at this test note that I just created here. There's some new gestures that you can work with pretty much anywhere within the system. So if you make a mistake, let's say you have this note and you wrote in some text that wasn't supposed to be there. You could undo this and redo what you type really quickly. In the past, you would shake the phone, you'd be able to undo. Now you can actually just pull to the left with 3 fingers and it automatically undoes what you've done. In the same sense, if you want to redo something, you can just swipe the other way and it'll return. You can see there's our note right here. The keyboard is a little bit different as well. In the past, if you wanted to scroll around to try to put your cursor in a specific place, you would press on the keyboard with force using 3D touch. Well, that's removed. We have haptic touch, so you can still do that. You just hold your finger on the space bar and then you can move that cursor around pretty much anywhere you want and make your edit. Selecting text is also really easy. You could just hold your finger over it now and then just drag across, and you can see that we can move it all the way across. So that's a little bit easier than in the past. And since we're talking about gestures, if you click on your volume rockers, you can control the volume up and down just by pressing it. But if you wanted to, you could tap on the volume option here and you could scroll up and down, giving you a more custom and more controlled volume. Lastly, the keyboard is also a swipe keyboard now, so you can just swipe your hand across anything you want to write and it'll write it in there. It's a little bit quicker. This next tip is involving screenshots. So for example, we're looking at this web page here. We can press the side and volume rocker to create our screenshot. Tap on the preview, and this is traditionally what we've been used to looking at, but we can tap full page here now and we have access to the full page of the website. We can scroll using the little bar on the right. You can see the whole page, and from here, when you're done editing or doing what you need to do, tap done and you can save it as a PDF to our files applications. You just tap where you want to save it. I'm going to put it in my iCloud drive for now, in my downloads folder. We're good to go. We'll save it there, and that is it. So now I have that on file in PDF format. This next tip is going to help you save data. So if you don't have a very good data plan, this is definitely for you. In your settings application, tap on cellular and then tap on the cellular data options here. If you take a look at the bottom one, it says low data mode. What it does when it's on is help reduce the amount of data the apps on your phone use, in turn saving you data. So you can use this full out or just use it when you're low. This next tip is going to allow you to scan documents, receipts, or anything right from the Files application. So open the Files application, and from the page where you can see your files, you want to pull down and you'll see 3 dots on the left. Tap on those 3 dots, it's going to open up some options, and the one we'll focus on is Scan Documents. When we tap on that, it's going to open up our camera. And what we'll do is just, let's say this was our document. So when it finds it, it'll turn blue, tap on the shutter button on the screen, and it'll automatically scan that to your files. We can tap on it to open and view it, and when you're ready, you can use the buttons at the bottom to change it, add filters. If you want to make it black and white, you can. There was some blue in there. And when you're done, you can just say done at the top and then tap save, and it'll save it to your files. Now anytime you access it, you have this perfectly scanned document, and it's dedicated in your Files app already, so you don't have to download a third-party app. Next, we're going to look at privacy. A very important part to having devices like this is knowing how to protect your privacy. And with this, we'll open up our settings, and now Apple has added some new privacy settings. So we'll tap on our privacy section here in settings, and you can see all of these options here. Now, if you didn't know, all of these are things that you can check and see what apps are accessing this information. Well, one of the new options is this Bluetooth. If we tap on it, you'll be able to see which apps are actually requesting and using your Bluetooth. But if something seems odd, like for example, let's say I had an app in here that I didn't like, or I thought, why would it need Bluetooth? I can turn it off and be in full control of what uses my information. The same goes for all of these applications here. So you want to kind of go through this periodically just to ensure that no apps that don't seem like they should be using certain information are using it. Tying into this is your location services. Tap on that as well. There's a lot of settings in here. First off, make sure only the applications you want are actually using your location. But if you pull down all the way to the bottom, there is system services. And most of these are turned on for the most part and using your location. for various reasons. Now there's one of them that we want to take a look at here called significant locations. This is off for me because this is actually tracking what locations you've been in. So when turned on, it'll actually show you a picture of a map and sort of know which frequent locations you've been and things like that. It's nice that they put the Face ID to log into it, but I usually have mine off because there's no reason for me to have those significant locations pulled in there. There's also an option on the first page here, again, we'll pull down, called advertising. So we're just in the main privacy options. We'll tap on advertising, limit ad tracking. What this does when it's enabled is it limits the advertisers from getting specific information about you to know or sort of target what ads you see based on trends that you do. So if you've ever wondered why you were looking at something on Amazon and then the ad, let's say, popped up with that thing you were looking at on a website, things like this may do that. You're not going to get less ads, they're just not going to be targeted to things you were looking at. In a way it's good because it reminds you, but at the same time it's a little bit creepy. So there's definitely a lot to cover with these new iPhone 11s and iOS 13. And if I can leave you guys with one last tip, it's to update to iOS 13. If you haven't done so yet, it's probably the best update Apple has released in a really long time. And honestly, if you have an older iPhone, it'll make it feel like new again. A lot of cool new features built in like dark mode and cool tweaks like the ability to use a mouse with your devices now. So it's really cool, a lot of good features, and it's the first time in a long time I've been excited to use these devices again. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification box so you're notified when I post new videos. If you're interested in more iPhone videos, there's a link in the description to the full playlist. I'll be taking a look at everything inside these phones and showing you how to use them and get the most out of your iOS devices. So definitely check those out and leave a comment. I try to respond to every comment that comes my way. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.